Oh yeah, this is fun. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing a 2022 Mazda 3. Now, the reason I wanted to review this particular one is this is kind of like a middle-of-the-line package, and on top of that, it is front-wheel drive, and I've actually never driven a front-wheel drive Mazda 3 before, so yeah, I thought I'd review it. Anyways, a huge shout-out and thank you to the Jaguar Land Rover here in Lehi, Utah for giving me some time with this Mazda 3. This one is available for sale right now. If you're interested, check out the inventory in the description down below. Also, if you're going to buy a new Jaguar or Land Rover, they do not charge over MSRP for either, which is awesome. So yeah, if you're looking for those as well, definitely check them out. And then as always, on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into the video. So under the hood, we have a naturally aspirated 2.5 liter 4-cylinder that goes through a 6-speed automatic transmission. Now, power outputs with this powertrain are 186 horsepower at 6,000 RPMs and then 186 pound-feet of torque at 4,000 RPMs. You can also get an upgraded turbocharged engine with the Mazda 3. Let's go over the front end of the Mazda 3, which I really like because they've gone for a pretty simplistic design, especially compared to the competition, which just has so many different like body lines and angles and all that kind of stuff. Whereas with this, look, the hood, nice and flat in the center, and then we've got these body lines here on either side to kind of come here to a point, and yeah, it looks really cool. And then you can see here with the lights, again, simplistic with the design, and then same thing with the front grille. Notice everything's kind of darkened to give this a sportier appearance, except the Mazda logo, so that the Mazda logo pops out just a little bit more. And then you guys can see here with the trim at the bottom. And yeah, overall, I think the Mazda 3, again, it's very simplistic, but it's good looking. Now, coming around the side here, we've got two 15mm tires wrapped around 18-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. And you guys can see here with the finish on the wheels, you've got that metallic gray, which I think looks really cool. Now, notice here how the fender is molded with the Mazda 3. Again, simplistic, right? And then you guys see here, we've got body painted mirrors. And then notice here how it's darker at the top, and then you've got like this silver trim at the bottom for the window. Kind of interesting. And this one is a hatchback, which looks pretty cool once you see everything from a side view perspective. So here's our key fob. Again, there's like nothing on it, except if you look here on the side, we've got our unlock and our lock function, and then that is for the alarm, right? And that's it. Now, underneath the Mazda logo, you press that and it pops it open, which is pretty cool. Now this has a built-in cargo cover. And then notice here with the storage space, really solid with the hatchback, and that's one of the benefits of the hatchback over the sedan is you just have a little bit more space in the back. And look at this, it says 2 sets of mats. You got the rubber ones and you got the cloth ones. And then when you're all done, you actually can lock it here from the rear, and then you just got to throw it down just like that. Now let's finish things up with the rest of the rear. So again, you've got that Mazda logo, which is bright chrome, just like the rest of the badges, so they all pop out. I love the new taillights here with the Mazda 3. I think it's really cool from a design standpoint. And to kind of go along with the sporty theme, notice how we've got 2 exhaust tips there on either side. And there you go. Now here's the door panel with the Mazda 3. You guys can see we've got nice padding here at the top, and then look at this trim piece that goes into the door handle. And then down below as well, looks really nice. And then same thing here with the seats. And this is one of the nice things about Mazda, is even though this is kind of like in commuter car territory from a price point perspective, it definitely has a more upscale interior. Now popping in, ooh. I mean, I wouldn't call this like super spacious, but it's pretty solid. And you guys can see we've got a storage pocket there on the other side. And the most important feature in the car industry, cup holder armrest. Let's head to the front. Now here is the front door panel. You guys can see again with all of the padding and the trim that goes to the door handle, just like the rear. Look how squishy that is. That like goes in really far. Anyways, you got all of our window controls here with the mirror adjustments. The mirrors do have blind spot monitoring. And here's the front seat. Again, you can see just as nice as the rear seats. The seats are manually adjustable. Here's the pedal layout down below, nothing fancy with that. We got stability control, and then this is for the safety tech to turn it off. And, well, let's pop in. So here is the steering wheel in the Mazda 3. You guys can see again, really nice material use around, and then you got the stitching here on the center portion. This does have adaptive cruise control, which is a nice tech feature. And then you can see here with the volume controls, phone controls, voice command controls, all in that area. And then we have our turn signal light stock, windshield wiper stock. And notice here how they've done the design here on the steering wheel where it's like mostly open and 3-spoke design. Again, simplistic, right? Now here's the gauge cluster. We have, again, RPMs on that side, and then you got like temperature and fuel gauge on the other side, and then you just have that screen there in the center, which if we press the info button, it'll scroll through different menus here with the screen. But overall, again, notice that the simplicity continues here with that. Now we do have some different drive modes. We have our normal mode, which we're in, and then we have a sport mode. And it just pops up there on the bottom. No funky animations or anything, it just says sport when you're in sport mode. Now, sorry about the lighting on this particular shot. I just can't get it right because of where the sun's located right now. But anyways, you've got the backup camera there with trajectory lines. Resolution's pretty solid on that. Again, it's a small car, so it's all good. Now, this is not a touchscreen if you guys are wondering. So you use a dial to control everything. Mazda is basically going away from touchscreens because they say that the whole dial situation is safer than a touchscreen and easier to use as well. And so, yeah, that's basically how it works. I mean, response time with the whole dial is really solid. It's pretty easy to use. It takes a second to get used to it, but once you get used to it, then I feel like it's pretty solid overall, and there you go. Now the whole dash is actually soft touch, and you even have some stitching right here. So again, definitely has a more premium feel to it. We've got our dual zone climate controls right there with our little hazard light button there in the center. And then we've got some more storage space here, some cup holders, and we have our whole transmission selector area, whatever you want to call it. And it looks like the person that bought this never took off the original plastic wrap off of this from brand new. I'm gonna leave that there. That's hilarious. That's something that I would do. Anyways, yeah, so you got the shifter. You can put it into a manual mode if you want. And then you got, again, the drive mode select here, parking brake, auto hold, controls for the infotainment system, radio control right there. And then notice here with all of the padding there on the side. And then center console's got decent storage space. Notice it slides backwards and forwards too. And then we've got a pretty normal glove box here. And look at the trim on the vents too, looks nice. And then up top here, darker colored headliner, and well, that's about it. Now, if you want the most up-to-date pricing on this particular Mazda 3, check out Land Rover and Lehigh's website in the description down below. Let's take it out and see how it drives. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility over the hood. Both the mirrors, which do have blind spot monitoring. And then throughout the rest of the rear. And let's set off. So, setting off here in this Mazda 3. This is going to be quite a fun experience. Oh, look at that Discovery with the red roof. Wow, sorry. I get distracted easily when I see interesting cars. But anyways, I think this is the first time I've ever driven a front-wheel drive Mazda 3. So, it'll be interesting to see how this handles. I have driven a Mazda 3 with this, naturally aspirated 2.5 liter 4-cylinder before, so I'm pretty familiar with the powertrain. But first off, just like other Mazdas, it's really smooth. It's actually really comfortable, and handling on it is just so good. So you get like this really nice feel through the steering wheel, where basically you can tell exactly where the front end of the car is, not just visually, but just how what you can feel, and it just feels tight, and it just handles so well. Like it's an engaging car to drive, and you can't say that about a lot of the other vehicles. I have a Honda Accord this week, which, man, I should have probably brought that to compare it against this. That'd have been a good comparison. Guess I wasn't thinking. Anyways, I have a Honda Accord this week, and that definitely doesn't have like the same level of steering feel as what this has. I'm actually popping into the sport mode. Now, this being naturally aspirated does have quite a bit of power loss here at elevation. Just getting mad at me because I went slightly over the line. My bad. But yeah, got quite a bit of power loss here at elevation. I'm about 4,500 feet here. And so, yeah, you do feel that compared to turbocharged engines that have about the same amount of power as what this is putting out. But it's still pretty solid from an acceleration perspective. And the 6-speed's nice. It feels like quick with the... Yeah, it feels quick with the shifts. I definitely like that. And that's the downshifts. I'll see how the upshifts are. Again, I'll put it back into sport. Yeah, I'm in sport mode. See how that is. People always slow down whenever they go by me because they're like, why does this person have a camera on their head? Listen, people, I'm trying to make some money here. But yeah, really quick with the shifts, actually. I'm surprised because, you know, it's a 6-speed automatic. It's not necessarily the most It's not an ancient transmission, but it's not, you know, the most modern transmission on the planet. Oh yeah, this is fun. That's great. Yeah, shifting on this is really solid, actually. I really like it. So yeah, let's sum things up here with the Mazda 3 hatchback front wheel drive. So first off, this doesn't have any wheel spin or anything. I thought that it would be like crazy torque steery or anything like that. Mazda's completely taken all that out of the car, so it doesn't feel like it's front wheel drive, frankly. That's good. I like that. That can't be said for some other front wheel drive cars. Aside from that, interior is really nice. You definitely feel like you're in a more upscale vehicle. Seat comfort's great with the Mazda 3. I think it looks good. A hatchback's more practical from a storage space perspective. And so, yeah, I think, you know, I mean, this with winter tires would do great in places that snows. Being front wheel drive, even though it's not, you know, you can get all wheel drive with Mazda 3, but you know, I think this is the version to go for if you live in a place you're not gonna have to worry about snow or anything. I think this is the one to go for. Save a little bit of money because the handling feels just as good as the all-wheel drive, and I'm sure this is lighter than the all-wheel drive Mazda 3 because you don't have anything going to the back. And so, yeah, I really like this. So yeah, if it doesn't snow where you live, front wheel drive one. And if it does snow, then, you know, just kind of gauge it. Like how much does it snow? You know, how clear are the roads all the time? And if they're pretty clear and it doesn't snow all that much, then yeah, just throw some winter tires on this and you'll be fine. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this Mazda 3. I think this thing's pretty cool and it's fun to drive. This would be a fun car to commute around in with all the driving dynamics. That's gonna sum things up for our video on this Mazda 3. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Land Rover / Jaguar here in Lehi, Utah for giving me some time with this Mazda 3. Check out the inventory in the description down below. I'll see you guys.